Hello everyone and welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Hub. Today we re-diving into a conversation that honestly might be one of the most important ones we've ever had on this channel because the stakes for long-time holders have never been higher. We re-putting the charts and predictions aside for a minute and getting real about what actually happens when the moment finally arrives. One wrong move during that transition could wipe out years of patience and planning. This isn't about fear or drama. It's about recognizing the reality of high-pressure financial events where clear thinking is your best safety net. If you're holding Iraqi Dinar or Vietnamese Dong and expecting a possible value shift, knowing how to handle that exchange isn't optional, it's essential. And as 2025 unfolds, this topic has shifted from quiet conversations to something people around the world are starting to watch closely. Investors have spent years tracking the signals, watching political changes, and holding on to this currency with rare levels of patience. But there's still a big misunderstanding about how a revaluation actually plays out in real-world situations. It's usually not slow or gentle. When rates change, they can move instantly, sending shockwaves through financial systems everywhere. And when that switch flips, information, rumors, and panic all start moving at the same speed. The moment any news breaks about a rate change, you can expect a massive surge of information hitting social media, blogs, and even bank sites at the same time. Banks will be scrambling behind the scenes to update their systems, and the rumor mill will be working overtime. That messy, chaotic moment is exactly where people who mean well can end up making some of the biggest mistakes of their lives. When adrenaline kicks in, judgment goes out the window, and people end up making fast decisions that skip over common-sense safety steps. So today we're breaking down the specific, practical things you need to do to protect yourself from that chaos. Keep your profits safe and walk into the exchange window with confidence instead of panic. One of the biggest traps people fall into is the urge to rush straight to the bank the second they hear the news. After years of waiting, it's totally normal to feel that pressure. The I need to get there first anxiety. But the truth is, that impulse can hurt you more than help you. If you show up too early, you might run into employees who haven't even been briefed yet, systems that aren't updated, or processes that are still being sorted out behind the scenes. That could mean accepting a wrong rate, signing something you don't fully understand, or dealing with someone who isn't authorized to help. The smarter move is to breathe, step back, and let things stabilize. The people who wait for official updates and let the initial chaos settle down often end up having a much smoother experience than the ones who sprint to the door right away. Right alongside that is the rise of scams that always pop up when big financial events are expected. Whenever people believe there's big money on the table, scammers get creative fast. You'll hear about private exchange groups, special rates, or secret opportunities that sound too good to be true because they are. These scams are designed to trick you into handing over your currency or your personal information. A legit bank will never ask you to mail your currency, send your banking details through email, or exchange outside of verified channels. If someone tries to pull you into anything that skips normal banking rules, treat it as a danger sign. Protect your money and your identity. In moments like these, caution is your best friend. Before you ever walk into a bank, you need a solid plan. A lot of people will walk in unprepared and rely completely on the banker to guide everything, which puts them at a huge disadvantage. You don't want to sign things you don't fully understand or end up in accounts that don't support your goals? Think ahead. Know how much you want to exchange, whether you want to cash out everything or just part of it, and what type of accounts you need for managing the funds. Decide whether you want immediate financial guidance or whether you'd rather hold the money safely while you figure out your next steps. Preparation gives you confidence, and confidence protects you from being steered into decisions that don't fit your long-term plan. A big topic many people overlook is taxes. There's a rumor floating around that gains from foreign currency somehow aren't taxable, which isn't true in most countries. Depending on where you live, exchanging currency for a profit could be considered capital gains or regular income, and both can come with serious tax responsibilities. If you ignore this part, you could end up with a huge surprise bill or even legal trouble. The smart move is to talk to a licensed tax professional before your exchange, not after. Ask how to report the gains, what accounts offer tax benefits, and how to legally minimize what you owe. Spending a little money on tax advice now can save you from losing a lot more later. Another major mistake people make after a big financial event is not protecting their privacy. It's natural to feel excited and want to share good news, but this is one moment where keeping things quiet is extremely important. Posting screenshots, talking about rates online, or bragging about your new balance can make you a target for scammers, hackers, or even dangerous individuals. Even telling close friends can be risky, not because they'll betray you, but because information spreads and eventually reaches people you never intended. Real wealth doesn't need an audience. Keeping your success private is one of the strongest forms of protection you have. When the exchange is done, the challenge shifts from getting the money to keeping it. There is a well-known pattern where people who come into sudden wealth lose it just as quickly because they overspend. The urge to clear debt, buy the house, buy the car, and help everyone around you is strong. But rushing into big purchases can drain your resources fast. The goal isn't to enjoy a moment of wealth, it is to build a lifetime of stability. Spread your money across multiple trusted banks, keep it in insured accounts, and avoid making any major purchases until you've had time to adjust emotionally and financially. The calmer you are after the exchange, the better decisions you'll make. A revaluation event isn't just a financial test, it's an emotional one. You've waited too long to let 5 minutes of panic undo years of patience. Let logic guide your choices. Documentation is another thing people overlook. Keep every receipt, every record, every note related to your currency purchases. Banks may need proof of where your currency came from to meet legal requirements. Having organized paperwork prevents delays or complications. When you go to the bank, organize your notes by condition and denomination. Being prepared helps the staff and creates a smoother experience. And always get everything in writing. Every rate, every agreement, every transaction. Verbal promises don't protect you. Double-check every digit before you walk out the door. Keep in mind that not all institutions will offer the exact same rate. Some differences are normal based on bank policies or timing. But don't get caught chasing tiny differences that don't matter in the long run. If the rate is good, solid, and life-changing, focus on securing your funds safely instead of trying to squeeze out a tiny extra gain. Safety and stability are far more valuable than bragging rights. Once the exchange is complete, think about diversification. Don't leave all your money in one place. Spread it across different accounts, and consider safe investment options like conservative portfolios or real estate. Protecting your money is just as important as earning it. A well-balanced strategy helps shield your wealth from market risk, inflation, and unexpected events. We also need to talk about generosity and boundaries. When people come into money, they often feel pressure to help everyone. But giving without limits can burn through your money quickly and damage relationships. Create a plan for how much you can give and stick to it. If you want to help family, consider structured options like education funds or business investments instead of handing out cash. This helps them long-term without draining your own stability. As the possibility of revaluation gets closer, you should also upgrade your personal security. A sudden increase in your bank balance makes you a potential target for cybercrime. Strengthen your passwords, enable two-factor authentication, and consider getting help from cybersecurity professionals to protect your devices and networks. Don't talk about your money with service workers, online acquaintances, or casual friends. Staying private is staying safe. Finally, let's talk about mindset. Many people think the revaluation is the finish line, but it's really the start of a new phase. Wealth brings opportunity, but also responsibility. If you've been dreaming about the freedom this might bring, this is your chance, but only if you approach it wisely. Treat your new wealth as the start of a long-term legacy, not a short-term spree. Learn about managing money, investing, and building systems that will last. And give yourself time to emotionally adjust. Sudden wealth can be overwhelming and people may treat you differently.